Here's the thing. Birds are real, and it's mean to say that they're not. Welcome back, episode 3. Very happy to be here. Very happy to have made a third episode. How you feeling, Kesh?
Feeling great. You know, we definitely didn't just record episode 2 10 minutes before this, but definitely not.
No, there's been a week in between. Mm-hmm. We've gotten lots of questions, lots of emails.
Yes, exactly.
Lots has happened in our life.
Tremendous things, really.
Yeah, where have you traveled?
I went to, you know how we talked about last episode, the Arctic turn, went to Antarctica? I was there.
Nice. That's super cool. That's crazy because I went to the Arctic.
Oh.
I went to the wrong one. I missed it. Yep.
Well, next time.
Yeah. If you don't know what we're talking about, listen to episode 2.
Yeah. If you don't know the structure of our episodes by now, please refer to episodes 1 and 2. We will not, keep talking about that and wasting our breath. It really doesn't seem super productive.
No, it's not that complicated.
It's really not, yeah. So we'll start with a check-in question now.
Check-in question.
Given to us by Muha.
Muha. Again, not doxing. We got permission. Well,
yep.
we got permit. We weren't asked not to use his name,
exactly.
So that counts.
Yeah. So Muha, kind of greedy, kind of gave us 2 check-in questions. You're getting a good bang for your buck here, Muha. What is your favorite of the existing bird sports teams purely from a birding perspective?
This is a really fun question.
I like it. It's a really good question.
Like I have a lot of opinions on these sports teams, but not from a birding perspective. So this is a nice little angle to look at it.
Yeah. So I'm curious. What do you think?
So I've listed out all of the bird teams that I can think of.
Okay.
I'm looking at mostly like United States, North American pro sports, right?
Mm-hmm.
In Major League Baseball, we have the Blue Jays, the Orioles, and the Cardinals. In the NFL, we have the Cardinals again, doubled down on that one. The Ravens, the Falcons.
There's so many birds out there. They
There's
just
a
had
lot
to
of
use
birds.
Cardinals
I know,
twice.
and they had to use Cardinals twice. It's like the state birds. Like, don't even get me started on
That
state
makes
birds.
sense.
But we have the Cardinals, the Ravens, the Falcons, the Eagles, and the Seahawks. We see a lot of birds of prey introduced there. NBA, we have the Hawks and the Pelicans. And I added the Raptors.
Wait, no.
Because, like, birds of prey are called raptors.
They literally have a velociraptor on the logo.
I know. Okay, so we're taking that one out.
But
not the Raptors.
Velociraptor, predecessor to birds, probably.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. This probably counts then.
Yeah, we'll keep it in there, but it loses some points because of that. In the WNBA, there's the Wings, which birds have wings, although their logo is a flying horse. So I don't know if they qualify. And then in the NHL, we have the Red Wings, kind of a similar situation there. Their logo is a flying tire. The Flyers, which could refer to birds. They fly.
It's true.
So do bats.
Yeah. Most things that fly are birds.
That's true.
So I think it goes.
And then we have the Penguins and the Ducks. Very strong contenders. So where does your mind go to?
Honestly, my mind, I'm not super big on the NHL. But the Ducks and the Penguins are enticing me. But initially, I just went to the Orioles. I really do like the Baltimore Orioles.
Yeah.
I do like the fact that they're a songbird and versus all these I guess Cardinals are songbirds too, but versus like the Falcons, the Eagles, the Hawks, It's like your little Oriole. I think it looks, I like the color orange, so I think it works well.
They do have a great logo. I don't like the team, but that's because I'm a Yankees fan, but the bird is great.
I hear they're on the come up.
Yeah, they're fine.
Adley Rushman.
No, he sucks.
Gunnar Henderson.
No, he's nothing.
I hear they're pretty good.
Yeah, I mean, they're pretty good. Yeah, I mean, I think I do like those stand out, right? Mm-hmm. And like a Cardinal, while it's not, the Northern Cardinals, it is a bit more specific than just saying the Eagles, the Falcons, the Hawks, right? Mm-hmm. But I know what you mean. NHL I'm not super into, but Penguins and Ducks, what incredible birds to choose. Love both of those. I think the funniest one to me is in the NBA. This is, I think, the newest team name at least. Mm-hmm. And they thought, all right, so we have all these teams. Let's pick a new name for this team in New Orleans. Of all the birds, they chose pelicans. That's sick.
I'm sure they must have some sort of significance, right?
I think there's a lot of pelicans in New Orleans, sure. But like similar to your songbird thing, like they could have gone with like a raptor. They could have gone with some sort of really intimidating bird, and it's more like a pelican, which I gotta respect that.
I'm surprised like Nighthawks aren't a team yet.
I know. Yeah.
Another thing with the Orioles is I was on the Orioles like for a lot of my little league career.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I was on CJ Perkins, which is a construction company.
Nice. That was just the team. It wasn't like the CJ Perkins A's. It wasn't
Nope.
like the CJ Perkins Blue Jays.
Just CJ Perkins. Shout out CJ Perkins, you know. Boy, hard to pick for me because I don't know if you know this about me. I do enjoy birds in general.
Oh, I wasn't sure, but
Yeah.
okay, good to know.
I might have to go with the penguins. I mean, how can
Yeah.
you beat the penguins?
Yeah. They're pretty sick. Their logo is also pretty sick. Just
It
a
is a
penguin with
very
a
good
hockey
logo.
stick.
Yeah.
You can't beat it, really.
No, I mean, that's peak.
Yeah. Yeah, great question by Muha. Let us know what your favorite bird sports teams are, purely from a birding perspective.
Yeah. If you know of other sports leagues too, clue us in. I'd love to hear.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of like soccer,
Yeah,
if
are
any
there
of
soccer
them
teams.
like bird themed.
Yeah,
No.
they're like named after airplanes.
I know like Brighton in English football has a bird on it, but
Okay, yeah.
yeah, that's really it.
Let us know.
Yeah.
Second part of this question, which I also thought was quite interesting. If you could pick the next bird-themed team, which bird would you use? You can tie a city to it, or existing teams are fair game to be rebranded. I like this question a lot. My mind immediately goes to Atlanta. So in Atlanta, we have the Atlanta Hawks basketball team. We have the Atlanta Falcons football team.
Yeah.
And then we have a baseball team for Atlanta, which I think could really use a rebrand.
Right.
And if we keep with this theme, we can go with a bird of prey. You know, looking at this, I think the name does need to be generic to kind of fit the theme. You know, falcons rather than peregrine falcons.
Right, you can't be too specific.
yeah,
just
I
it doesn't
can't-
roll off the tongue well.
Can't be like the great horned owls, you know.
Yeah.
I made a list of the birds of prey. So I think it could be the vultures, the owls, the kites, the harriers, the condors, the kestrels, the merlins, or what I think is the best one, the terror birds. You know what a terror bird is?
Never heard of a terror bird.
Terror-
Sounds sick though.
Yeah, well, a terror bird is a prehistoric bird. It's extinct, but it's basically a dinosaur, but it's a bird.
Okay.
There is a descendant of them called, boy, am I not going to pronounce this right? Sariemus. It's a Spanish word. I'm so sorry to our Spanish-speaking audience. I would love to choose that, but their terror birds were thought to be in South America and not so much Atlanta.
Right.
So, I don't know. Out of those, my heart goes to owls.
Atlanta Owls.
The Atlanta Owls. It's a little clunky. I think maybe vultures makes the most sense.
I don't know. I feel like Atlanta Harriers sounds pretty nice.
That's true.
Yeah.
Is that too close to Atlanta Hawks?
That's a good point. Yeah. Atlanta Kites even. Yeah, some good options. But you want the Atlanta Owls? I feel like the Owls deserve a sports team at this point.
Yeah, Atlanta
Right?
Owls. I'm going with that.
Yeah, I like that.
Okay.
For me, I kind of want to stick in the theme of the Oriole. You know,
Yeah.
maybe not a super ferocious bird, but also like pretty generic. First thing that comes to mind is like a hummingbird,
Oh.
and I'm a sucker for alliteration.
Yeah.
You know me,
Oh, yeah.
right? So maybe instead of the Houston Astros,
Yeah, get those guys out of here.
I don't like them anyway.
Can't stand them.
Yeah, they did the whole thing. We don't need to get into
No,
it.
no, no.
We know.
Yeah.
The Houston Hummingbirds. What do we think?
I like that a lot. I mean, it fits their personnel. Jose Altuve, hummingbird-esque, you know?
Light needs food every 10 minutes.
Very fast.
Very fast. Fattens up in the winter.
I like the hummingbird because it's not one that you might immediately think of. Like the Orioles, like the Pelicans, you know?
Yeah.
It's
And
like
I feel like they can have a sick logo too.
the logo, the uniforms, like
Yeah.
the colors on that would be so
Ooh,
good.
like a ruby-throated hummingbird.
God,
The
yeah.
colors would go wild. Yeah.
It'd go so hard. So, thank you, Muha, for the question.
Yeah.
This
great
is great.
question.
Please send us in your ideas for bird sports teams. What do you think should be included? Which teams, rebrands, anything like that? If you can draw and you want to submit some logos, we'll post those on our social media if you want
Oh
us
yeah.
to.
That'd be super cool.
And I'm probably going to try my hand at making the Atlanta Owls logo.
Ooh.
See how that goes.
I think you'll do well.
Yeah.
If our podcast cover is anything to go off of, I think you'll do really well.
Yeah. So our main topic for today, I'm going to keep it a little bit of a secret. This is a bit of a
Ooh.
mystery.
Like you're not gonna tell me.
I'm not going to tell you yet. You're going to figure it out. But
Okay.
we're going to start like this. I'm going to say a series of words to you,
Okay.
and I want you to tell me what they all have in common.
Okay.
if you're listening at work or in public, you might want to put in some headphones for this part. Nothing I'm about to say is like explicit or inappropriate, but boy, does it sure sound like it should be. So here's your warning.
Okay. Let me prepare myself.
Okay. You ready?
All right, I'm ready.
All right. Timberdoodle. Brush snipe. Labrador twister. Mudbat. Bog sucker. What do you think those words all have in common?
Can you say them one more time for me?
Yep. Timberdoodle.
Okay.
Brush snipe.
Okay.
Labrador twister.
Okay.
Mudbat. Bog sucker.
I thought they had something to do with like habitat, brush, mud, timber, but I guess Labrador doesn't really fit into that. I don't know. They were all compound words. How about that?
That's it. You got it. That's the episode. Go home, guys.
Perfect.
We're done.
See ya.
So actually, depending on where you are in the world, you may recognize these as nicknames for the American woodcock. One of the absolute weirdest birds in the world. I say weird in a loving way. I love them, but like objectively, they're super weird. If you're listening to this, do me a favor. Don't look up this bird yet. Don't pause it. Don't look it up yet. I'm going to do my best to describe it. And while I'm doing that, just close your eyes. Try to form an idea of what it looks like in your head.
I'm going to do the same thing, by the way.
Okay. When I give the signal, and we'll figure out what the signal is. When I give the signal, go ahead and pause this podcast and look it up. I promise you it's going to look so much weirder than what you imagine. What do you think the signal should be?
I don't know. Say like Timberdoodle or something.
Timberdoodle. All right. That'll be the signal. All right. So the American woodcock, unlike the bird we talked about in the first episode, it's very likely that you haven't just run into one of these in your daily life. I haven't actually even seen one in person. One of my greatest regrets in life.
Are they extinct?
No, they're around. I just never seen one.
Okay.
Yeah.
When you said it was a greatest regret, I was like, wait, I don't think they're extinct.
No, I mean, right up there with not investing in Apple when I was 2.
Right. Not buying property when you're like 5.
Exactly.
Right?
Yeah. When I was in college, actually, I followed this bird Twitter page, and I got this notification that there was a woodcock in the park next to the New York Public Library. So I like hopped on a train, went there, and I very slowly just kind of stalked around outside the library, staring at the ground into like bushes and stuff. Did that for like an hour and a half and did not find anything. I think I scared a lot of people that day. They are actually fairly widespread in the eastern United States, especially in the more southern states. Like Louisiana to Georgia, they're there year-round.
Really? Okay.
Yeah. But in the north, they come here for like breeding seasons when it's warmer. Mm-hmm. So, okay, I'm going to describe it now. An adult is around 10 to 12 inches long. About half of that is their beak. Not actually half, but their beaks, or bills, as us real birders like to call them, they're about 3 inches long, that's a pretty nutty ratio. That's like a quarter to a third of their entire body length is their beak.
Yeah.
Bill, sorry. The rest of their bodies are sandpiper-esque. Like if you took a sandpiper and kind of like squished it into itself.
Mm-hmm. So it's a little chubby.
Pulled the head up and like chopped its legs into like a third.
Oh, okay.
It's super short and its head's like a trapezoid. All right. Timberdoodle. That's the signal. Everyone listening, pause this, look it up, take a look at this bird. All right, you got a good look? Kesh, let's, I'm going to pull it up on my phone too. You tell me how good a job I did at this.
Oh, well, I already know what it looks like. It's on Wingspan, dude.
Yeah, that's true.
They're not going to believe it. It's on,
You're
Sam,
right.
I know what it looks like.
Okay.
It's on Wingspan.
Yeah.
It's a good bird.
It's a good bird.
It's okay, actually, I guess. But wait, let me see it regardless.
Yep. So there you go.
That thing does not look real.
Yep. Like it does. It kind of looks like it was like made out of clay, a little bit.
Yeah, it looks like if you asked like a third grader to make a bird and it just like exaggerated its proportions as much as it could.
They like took their entire fist, put it around a crayon, and just kind of scribbled. So that's the American woodcock. As the name might suggest, woodcocks do live mainly in the woods and not the shore, like a sandpiper. Although they are they're technically members of the sandpiper family.
Really?
Yeah. So, I don't know. I think these technically count as peeps. What do you think?
Visually, yeah, but like it's interesting. They do live in the forest.
Yeah.
But like they're not like waiting. They don't wait.
No, they just walk around like in the forest.
Interesting.
Not only do they walk around, they do this very specific thing. If you know about woodcocks, if you've heard about them before, you probably know what I'm talking about here. But I'm going to assume the rest of you don't know what I'm talking about. They do this dance. This very specific, very strange looking dance. I'm going to get into it in a bit more detail later.
Can you show me like right now in real life?
Yeah.
No, like you do it.
Oh, no, I can't. I don't have that kind of muscle control.
Oh, okay.
We'll get into this a little more later, but basically what they do is their head stays perfectly still, right in place, and the rest of their body like bobs back and forth. And they just kind of do this. They'll take one step, bob back and forth like 3 times, take another step, bob back and forth, and its head is just staying perfectly still.
It's like a gimbal.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's like a gimbal. I've only ever seen this in videos. Obviously, I haven't seen it in person, but like it's like maybe the most surreal thing I've ever seen. Like if I just watched this for an hour and then someone came up to me and said, "Hey, what's your social security number?" I'd give it to them no problem. I'm
It's like hypnotizing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow. Mesmerizing.
We're going to get into that later, but feel free to pause this podcast and look up the dance at any time. You're really going to want to do that because it's really something.
Now I want to see one in real life and see it do it.
I know. See, this is why it's one of my biggest regrets. All right. So we're going to play a game now.
Okay. I'm ready.
You folks at home can play along. I'm going to read you a series of facts about the woodcock, and you have to tell me if they're true or false.
Okay.
All right?
Yeah.
I'm going to use a different nickname for each fact.
Okay.
All right? So first, number 1, true or false. The Timberdoodle can open up just the very end of its bill while digging around underground to grab a worm without opening the rest, so it doesn't accidentally eat a bunch of dirt. Kind of like lips.
Yeah. Sounds true.
True. Yep,
Yeah.
that's true. That's a pretty cool thing. Not a lot of birds can do that.
Like, they don't have that fine motor control.
No, yeah. They have, like, Timberdoodles, woodcocks, they have really fine motor control of their bills, which makes them really good at digging up worms.
Do you think that's specific because they live more in the woods rather than in the water?
Maybe.
They can't wash it off maybe as
Yeah.
easily?
This is now all conjecture, obviously. We're not ornithologists, but like they don't have to spear any fish like some wading birds do. Mm-hmm. So I think maybe the front of their bill doesn't need to be quite as hard. You know, it can be a little more flexible. Mm-hmm. All right, number 2. Mud bats. They got these big bulbous eyes.
I think that's my favorite nickname.
Yeah, mud bats really good.
Mud bat.
So their eyes allow them to have a 360 view at all times, 360 degrees. They can see everything without moving their necks.
I believe that they have a wide field of view. Yeah.
Yeah, true. Mostly true. I mean, because of the position of their eyes, you've all looked up a picture by now, kind of like up and back in their head. It's a weird place for a bird to have eyes. Mm-hmm. So they can see all around them, but they actually can't really see in front of them very well. So they do kind of like walk into things while they're doing this little walk.
That's really funny.
Yep. All right. If you're doing well, congratulations. Keisha's 2 for 2 right now. Number 3. Bog suckers that have children will fake a broken wing to lure predators away from their kids.
It's very heroic.
Kind of like playing possum, but like for another being.
It's very heroic.
Mm-hmm.
I want to say true, but I'm going to say false.
It's true.
No.
They do it. The female, the mothers, the mothers
That's
do
very,
it.
very valiant.
Yeah.
I'm happy about that.
I know. It's very, very nice of them. All right. Number 4. While trying to attract mates, Labrador twisters make songs by stiffening their feathers and flapping their wings instead of by singing.
I feel like the other peeps that we've seen do make some noise, so I'm gonna say false.
It's true.
Are these all true, dude? Come on.
No, they're not all true.
They're not all true. Okay.
Yeah, so they do this thing. Well, it's like mostly true.
Okay.
They do this thing called a sky dance, which is different from their walking dance. Mm-hmm. And they are able to produce like these vibrations that actually like make a song while they're just flapping their wings. It's pretty cool. You can look up a video of it.
Yeah, I definitely want to check that out after this.
But they do still make noises. They make this like kind of high pitched sound killdeer-esque, but not quite. But they don't really do that for mating purposes. The sky dance is what they do for that. All right, final question here. If you remember last episode, we were talking about a bird that's kind of similar. That migrates and flies about 60 miles per hour the whole time. Which bird was that, Kesh?
That was a great snipe.
The great snipe. And this, of course, is the brush snipe. But that's not the nickname I'm going with here. Swamp chickens. Swamp chickens can fly as slowly as 5 miles per hour.
That takes some skill.
Yeah, before you just automatically answer this, it's really hard. Well, it's really hard to fly. I can't do it.
Yeah, true.
But it's really hard to fly slowly. Think about planes. Planes can't take off if you're going slowly.
Right.
If they go too slow, they just fall right out of the air.
Yeah. I'm no expert on Bernoulli's principle, but seems difficult to fly that slowly.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, well, you said all of these aren't true. So, I want to go false.
It is false, but
They're
only
slower.
because swamp chickens is not a real nickname for the American woodcock.
Oh.
I made that part
But the
up.
fact is true.
They can fly as slow as 5 miles per hour.
Wow.
And they migrate at under 100 feet high in the air. So they're real low to the ground, and they're just going real slow. So we've warmed up with some fun facts. You're familiar with the American woodcock, the timberdoodle, the mudbat, the bogsucker. We're ready to jump in to the crux of our episode right now. I need your help in solving a mystery.
Whoa.
This mystery I'm calling the mystery of Timberdoodle Tango. As far as I can tell, which that consists of me looking through the top 3 Google results, no one has ever called the woodcock dance the Timberdoodle Tango before. So that's a certified birds are real coined phrase. Timberdoodle Tango.
I'll take credit for it. Yeah.
It's not actually certified, but someone's probably said this before, but I didn't see it on Google.
I feel like Timberdoodle Tango, I don't think that's crossed the mind of another human being. I think you're pretty unique in that aspect.
We go.
Yeah.
So that's it, the Timberdoodle Tango, and we're going to solve the mystery. This is like I promised earlier, we are going to be talking about the woodcock dance. I'm going to show Kesh a video of the dance right now. If you haven't yet, I would recommend pausing and looking up a video. If you just look up on Google American woodcock dance, one of the first results is going to be funky American woodcock. Click on that one. It's pretty fun.
Wait a minute. Did you ever watch that Tweety Goes Around the World movie or something? No?
I don't think so.
I swear, there's a bird that does this dance. There's got to be at least one listener that knows what I'm talking about. It's like 88 Days Around the World or something. There's a scene.
Wow. Okay.
It might be the woodcock. I'll have to go check that out.
It probably is.
Yeah.
Let me know. If you know what Kesh is talking about, send us an email too. So, there are a lot of theories why this happens. But, like many things with birds, ornithologists don't actually know for sure why they do this. By the way, there is a lot less written about woodcocks than starlings, which was the last bird I researched. There were like no books I could check out from the library to write this script. Everything I'm saying here I found through a combination of Wikipedia, allaboutbirds.org, a blog post on whyevolutionistrue.com, and this little book I have called Bird Trivia by Stan Tequila. I'm not convinced that the bird trivia in this book is true, but I'm taking it as true for this episode.
Stan Tequila, consider yourself called out.
No, I love you, Stan. You've changed my life. Here are what I consider the most plausible theories. We're going to choose one of these, or we can create our own. Number 1, they do this to sense earthworms in the ground, like Toph in Avatar: The Last Airbender.
Okay.
What do you think of that?
No.
No? You don't think so?
How would this dance help them sense the earthworms? I don't get it.
So the theory is the dance creates vibrations in the ground. That's why they kind of
And they
rock
wait for a
back
response?
and forth. Yeah, kind of echolocation, but whatever it's called when you're not making sounds, you're stomping on the ground. Mm-hmm. So that's one theory. That's actually, for a long time, the prevailing theory with ornithologists. They thought it was because they can sense worms and bugs. Number 2, They're mimicking leaves and shadows to stay camouflaged. You know, in the wind, leaves and shadows will kind of go back and forth.
Well, I don't know. When we bird, the main thing we look for is movement.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel like if you wanted to stay still, I feel like if a bird wanted me to not see it, it just wouldn't move at all. Okay. So I don't think that's
okay.
Right.
That's fair. That's very fair. So then we come to number 3. This is what at least the blog post on whyevolutionIstrue.com thinks is the best answer.
Mm-hmm.
They're actually doing it to attract the attention of potential predators.
Why would they want predators? Because they're actually the predators of the predators.
Ooh, yeah.
So they'll lure them in so they can attack.
Those 3-inch beaks, man.
Yeah, put those 3-inch beaks to good use.
Yeah, come over here, fox. I'm just a helpless little woodcock, and then they just eat. They
strangle it
like that. Yeah, like a boa constrictor. Mm. Yeah. No, so
I think that's right.
So it does seem counterintuitive. Why would you want to attract a predator to your location, right? There are other animals that do this thing that we're like pretty sure do this for this specific reason. Most notably, certain types of deer.
Really?
Yeah, especially deer in like, I think Africa, like in the prairies, in the savannas, that have all these like big cats chasing them, big predators. They will make themselves very conspicuous. Even if they don't actually see a predator, if they think there's one around, a deer at least will do this thing called pronking, where they kind of like jump all around and like move their heads and just like make noise and alert everyone to their presence.
Is it just so the predator like reveals itself earlier so they can get away?
Kind of. It's actually sort of like bluffing in a poker game. They're pretending like,
yeah, I know.
I'm making all this noise, so I'm not actually in any danger.
Right.
Right? And this will also make the predator think that they don't have the element of surprise anymore. The predator sees them doing this, they're like, oh, well, damn, they saw me hiding here. I guess I can't go after this one.
Yeah, they seem pretty confident they're doing their thing.
Well, so this is what at least this one guy on this blog post thinks that the American woodcock is doing.
Got it.
Which I guess would make sense. It attracts a lot of attention, this funky woodcock dance. The Timberdoodle Tango.
It's funny because the first theory and the third theory are total opposites.
Yeah. Yeah, one of them is about the woodcock being a predator and the other one's about it being prey. Mm-hmm. So, I don't know. What do we think? Do any of these stand out to you? We might be able to do a little better.
Oh, yeah. We could come up with our own idea.
Exactly.
Yeah, let's do that.
Okay. No one can prove us wrong.
Because none of these are, like, speaking to me, you know?
No, and no one can prove any of these, so you can't prove that what we come up with isn't true.
Okay.
Okay.
You want to hear what my...
I'd love to hear it. Yeah, just
what... I'm not sure of how plausible this is,
Mm.
but I'd like this to be true.
Yeah.
I think they're just having fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, because animals do things for fun.
They do.
Like, dolphins pass around pufferfish and get high, and they think it's fun.
That's so true. Ravens, they'll like do loop-de-loops in the air. They'll jump off of things and do flips and then fly back up. That's just for fun.
Yeah, and like, even your pets like play fetch and whatnot, right?
Yeah.
I would love to think that it's just doing this dance because it's having a great time.
I know. Yeah, I mean, I'd love to think that too, right? Like maybe it got a worm that, maybe that worm was feeding on some dirt around like some really nice mushrooms. The woodcock just got a hold of that and was like really just vibing out.
Yeah.
You know? I bet it's fun to be able to keep your head perfectly still and move the rest of your body.
I feel like other birds can do that too.
Well, I think,
isn't it like chicken? Can chickens do that?
Probably. I think chickens, as they move, they kind of have that same
stabilization
sort of,
or something.
Because they have those giant bodies that are kind of flopping all around, but I do think their heads stay pretty.
Wait, something I just thought of was maybe they're keeping their heads stable because they don't have other ways to mitigate like how they view the world. When their head shakes, their vision shakes too. So maybe they try to keep their head really still.
That's true. Like I said before, they do have sort of that 360 vision.
Yeah.
But their vision right in front of them is not very good. So maybe it's like they're testing out the ground before they really take a step because they can't see it too well, right?
Oh, maybe
something.
Maybe we're onto something.
That's something.
Yeah.
Other birds, I know the American kestrel is a bird that can move the rest of its body really intensely but keep its head completely still. If you haven't seen a video of this is super cool. What they'll do is they'll go high into the air, catch a gust of wind, and flap their wings to exactly counteract the wind, so they just stay perfectly in one place in the air, and their head stays locked. And that's how they like lock on to a mouse that's like, you know, a mile away on the ground.
That's exactly what a kestrel was doing when I saw one in real life.
Yeah, me too.
It was totally still in the air, relatively windy day.
Yeah.
That's cool. I didn't know what it was doing.
It's like, the coolest thing.
Yeah, it's super cool.
It's so amazing. That does lend credence to the earthworm theory a little bit, because they're also searching for prey. It doesn't really, because they're not staring at a mouse.
They're not looking at
they're according to the theory, making vibrations with their legs and feeling what comes back. But
I think I like our theories better, though.
Yeah.
I
like the having fun theory.
Yeah.
I think that's nice. You look at that bird, like, it could use some fun. It looks like it's having a tough life there, you know? A sandpiper that can't go to the water.
Sandpiper that can't be in the water, yeah. Probably needs to do something to take the edge off, right?
Yeah. We all want to dance it out a little bit. I have this watch that tells me to stand up every hour, you know? Mm-hmm. And I might start trying to do the woodcock dance, the Timberdoodle Tango, every time it asks me to stand up.
You should.
See if I can master it.
I think if you dedicated the rest of your life to it, you might be pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what, the rest of our listeners, you're social media savvy people, I think. You have TikTok accounts. You got Instagram Reels going. Take a video of yourself doing the Timberdoodle Tango. Tag @BirdsAreRealPod.
That'd be so great.
Get a trend going.
If one person does it, I'll be happy.
Yeah, if one person does it, we'll send you $500.
Oh,
Not actually. That's not real.
In theory.
Like 500 like happy dollars.
Yeah, like imagine if we sent you $500 and like how much you would appreciate that.
Yeah, just imagine that.
Imagine that, but like we don't actually do it.
Yeah, we don't actually do it, but you just pretend like we did.
Yeah. I think that way both parties benefit.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's perfect. So that is our profile on what I consider at least to be the weirdest and most interesting bird in North America. I think perhaps it's still a mystery, unless you want to say case closed.
Yeah, I'm open to hearing theories. Would be great if our listeners told us some of their theories. Maybe they're onto something. I don't know.
A new acceptable email subject line for this episode just dropped. Timberdoodle Tango theory.
Yeah.
Let's hear them.
Ooh, remember how earlier I said I love it, alliteration?
Yeah.
Ooh,
It's pretty nice, right?
That's great. All right, so it's about time for what you guys have been waiting for, the bird call quiz.
Yep. What are those standings at?
Score is still 1-0 after we both tragically missed the calls last episode.
Tough. That was real tough.
Hopefully at least one of us turns it around this time.
Yep. All right.
We'll have Sam go and give me the bird call first this time.
Okay. I can play another for you.
Sure. In the middle is throwing me off. I was thinking like blue jay kind of thing, but then maybe it's a woodpecker of some sort. I don't think woodpeckers make the very screechy noise though. I don't think so. I'm thinking either blue jay or some type of eagle or something of that nature. This guess could be totally bad because I'm also thinking like marsh wren now. Jeez. This could be catastrophically embarrassing. I'm just going to say blue jay.
It's a blue jay.
Okay.
Yep.
Woo!
And just to show you that I was not lying in the first episode, here's a blue jay doing a red-tailed hawk impersonation.
Yeah. That's crazy.
Yep. That's another point on the bird for Kesh. 2-0 right now. I still got a turn coming up.
All right. So I'm going to play a bird call for Sam now.
Okay.
All right. Different one.
Was that part of it?
So there are two distinct calls, but
Yep.
Same bird.
Same bird. Okay,
Same bird,
great.
of course.
This is one that we've heard at John Hines.
Sure.
Is this a chipping sparrow?
This is a chipping sparrow.
Ooh. All right.
Nice.
I'm on the board. First try, first guess. No hints given.
That's okay. We can give hints.
We're going to cut out the part where Kesh held my hand and brought me to the final answer.
No.
All right. Well, that gives us a score of 2-1.
Nice.
Kesh still in the lead, but you cannot email me anymore and say Sam sucks.
We both. What a great episode. We both got it right.
We both got it right. Let us know how you did. Keep score on your own. Have a scoreboard going against us. If you beat us, again, 500 happy dollars, not real dollars.
Yeah. Thanks for tuning in to another episode. Stay tuned for episode number 4.
Yeah. Remember to give this podcast 5 stars on whatever podcast listening service you use.
By the time this comes out, I'm sure we're up and running on TikTok, Instagram.
TikTok, Instagram,
YouTube.
at Birds Are Real Pod. YouTube, we'll have our episodes there. If you prefer to listen on YouTube, they'll start being released at the same time as these episodes do.
Oh, yeah. And at least one person, please upload a TikTok and tag us doing the woodcock dance. That'd be great.
The Timberdoodle Tango.
The Timberdoodle Tango. Hashtag Timberdoodle Tango.
Hashtag Timberdoodle Tango. The Birds Are Real podcast is completely self-funded. We do not receive money for this podcast, if that wasn't abundantly clear. So, any potential brands out there who want to make a deal with us, here's my case. We have no idea how to monetize a podcast. We don't know what a fair deal is. Come take advantage of us. Give us a little bit of money, and we'll tell people to use your product.
Yeah. Any camera companies out there? Elizabeth Hargrave, if you're listening, Wingspan. We should do a Wingspan episode at some point.
Oh, we'll do a Wingspan episode.
Do a Wingspan episode.
Nikon, Canon, Element.
Any binoculars companies out there?
Yeah.
Leica, Swarovski. If you want to send us your $4,000 binoculars, please do.
I mean, Kohl's. I like shopping at Kohl's if you want to sponsor
like
us.
Old Navy even. Yeah. Marshalls, great.
Crocs.
Wait, Crocs?
Crocs.
Bird Crocs?
Bird Crocs.
Wait a minute.
Yeah.
We could be onto something.
All right.
Yeah.
So think about it.
Until next time.
Remember to do the Timberdoodle Tango.